Now you move on to tell us how frightened and lonely Darwin was in his deathbed. Well, seems pretty reasonable to me. I imagine I'd probably be frightened and lonely on my deathbed too, because as they say, every man dies alone. When you come right down to it, to be surrounded by family and friends must be a great thing at that time. But you are dying and they're not, so I suppose I can take that. Now you are not the first person to bring this up, obviously, and it has been I shouldn't say it has been disproven. It has never been strongly supported that Darwin had any sort of deathbed conversion. It's been shot down by some of the greatest thinkers and historians, and I'm sorry, bringing up 50 or 100 or 1,000 who believe in something is not enough to quench the millions that will tell you why it's false. So you can go ahead and tell us about how scared Darwin was in his deathbed, and yeah, it really doesn't mean anything. I imagine that I will probably be scared on my deathbed too. And would you not expect, in the course of a human's passing, for their mind to reflect on these things and perhaps even question? I'm sure that my own brain would say at the near the moment of my death, "What if I'm wrong?" But then I'm pretty sure my brain would kick in and say, I should say my rational side would kick in and say, "Yeah, you know what if you are? But you're probably not. So don't worry too much." Alright, so I have no idea how much time I've killed and I can edit out, but you're done. And you end with skimming Genesis to read only the prepositional phrases and active phrases where God is involved. God did, God created, God called, etc., etc. And it says all that for sure. Once again, and I know this is such a dead horse already, but there are way more Greek authors that write about Zeus and Apollo and Athena and Hera and Hermes and how they all interact, and there are multiple stories from multiple accounts, and a lot of people back then claimed to have had visions from the gods and blah 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 blah. So why is your book any more justified because it repeats a phrase than any other book could be used to support its particular deity? Sad Darwin, huh? I mean, you threw Darwin in the trash. You took your piece of paper with the Darwin fish on it and tossed it in the trash. Is this the same guy who just got done complaining about persecution of Christians? So if I did something to a Bible, if I threw a Bible in the trash, you would call it blasphemy, wouldn't you? So you just threw Darwin in the trash. You're doing the exact same action. You're saying, here's what I think of your viewpoints, garbage. So when we tell you that your viewpoints are garbage, what you do, you start telling us we're persecuting you, man. How about discussion and debate? Not sad Darwin and the old tired canard of his deathbed conversion, which really doesn't stand up. I mean, I guess it does if you're using the same standards of historical veracity that you're applying to the Bible, because I'm sorry, man. I've heard it all, and I'm even willing to stretch out a little bit and accept some of the extra biblical verifications of events that people trot out, Josephus and whoever, and I'll take that. I'll grant him all is true. So the man existed. It still doesn't make me think he could change water into wine. That's a trick I've been working on for a long time, and I'll let you know how it comes out. If you want me to believe that Jesus was God and walked on water based on that much evidence, and I'll give you all the major ones, of which there are perhaps 20 if I recall correctly, then I can provide you with an equal number of sources for a number of other gods written by non-contemporaneous figures over a long stretch of time, and that stood a fair test of time as well. And then I'll expect you to get down and worship Anubis with me or whatnot. Actually, did Anubis win his last round in the Tournament of the Gods? I can't recall. Anyhow, I think that just about covers it.